What's going on, Cancer? And welcome to the Chariot Friends. Justin here, and I hope you're feeling energetic today. I'm kind of feeling it, Cancer. And for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just the greatest, Cancer, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We're in for an amazing journey. Now, the purpose of this channel, for those of you who have Cancer in your placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, wherever, Cancer, this one's for you. And I do tarot card spreads based on our ruler here, the good old Moon. And I'll talk about what sign she's in, what phase she's in, and when she's going void, of course, just all of those lunar shenanigans. Yeah, really just kind of feeling this energy, Cancer. And for those, and just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, never force reading on a situation, and everything will be dope, Cancer. Now, let's jump into it. Get into this thing, Cancer. Alright, your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. I love that you could see more of this stuff here. Cancer is fantastic. Just great energy all around here, Cancer. And Cancer, happy Moon Day. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Hope you enjoyed your Saturday and Sunday. Hope it was fantastic. Cancer got stuff that you needed to get done there. But with Moon Days, Mondays are really great for just getting into that intuitive space there, Cancer. And be mindful of starting things. It's not that you can't start things on Moon Days, but be mindful of where your emotions are at when you're starting up things, Cancer, because that could really affect how the tone of things can go. So this is a really nice one to kind of take it easy, kind of let your intuition kind of guide you in a sense there, really be in a sort of subjective type of space, really kind of tune in there, Cancer. And Cancer, if you weren't already tuned in enough, guess who's here on Moon Day? Luna is. It's going to be wonderful because the moon is in a waxing gibbous in Cancer. But before we talk about that, Cancer, she's going to be going void, of course. So this is going to be a lengthy one, Cancer. We have actually a couple of pretty lengthy void of course energies this week. So just in general, I was getting this sense of just kind of paying attention to that. Be mindful of your energies this week, about spreading yourself too thin. You know, if you got stuff you got to do, of course, but making sure to, I feel, really kind of tune into the body, do some breath work in between. If you have, let's say, even just a couple minutes maybe in between your day, let's say while we're sitting in traffic, just tune into the breath, just really kind of be in an intuitive space there, Cancer. Tune into the body. But with the void of course, the moon's going to be going void of course at about 2 p.m. and that'll be Pacific time. And she'll be void of course until Wednesday, the 21st to the 21st of February, until about 5:40 a.m. So we're looking at about a 39-hour and 40-minute void of course time there, Cancer. And this is just an energy with the void of course when the moon forms her last major aspect with the sign, then there's no more energy that the moon has. There's no more conversation. It's just she kind of wanders in a sense. But the void of course energy is, and I feel especially if you have a Cancer sun or rising, the moon is your chart ruler. And so I feel like you really want to pay attention to these void of course times. Notice how energetically how you're feeling, and being aware that you are in, especially I feel like when this is happening in our sign there, Cancer, it's just the moon is just in this extra receptive type of energy. So doing maybe some sound clearing, or maybe some just when you do have a moment sitting in meditation, or however meditation looks like to you. This doesn't necessarily have to be sitting down and, crisscross applesauce doing some breathing. This could be maybe doing some housework, possibly something to get you in a place of just a place of zen where we're kind of where we can almost kind of dip into our daydreams almost in a sense there, Cancer, that thing that gets you in that energy of flow, and just really kind of gets you at peace, gets you aware, because Cancerian energy, because we are come with this depth of emotions and come in, we're very, with being ruled by the moon, we're again a very subconscious, wherever that Cancerian energy falls. And so there is this real heightened sense and nuance that we feel of consciousness. So that's why, with when the moon going void, of course, as often as she does, we can get overloaded with that energy, because that can be a lot until you learn to increase that capacity there, Cancer. So the moon just invites you to just again, to protect your energies. You do some subconscious work, check in with your moods and things, maybe some things that were locked on, get into a place of observation, But I feel with this, with the void of, with the void of course energy too, again, starting things off on during a void of course can be a little tricky, just again because there's not a lot of energy with that. And again, it's not to say that you can't, but just be aware of that, of when you're starting new things up there, Cancer, may be a little trickier. But also people may be less likely to make decisions during this time, and that your plans may be subject to unexpected changes during this energy. So that's just something to be aware of there, Cancer. And then we have a waxing gibbous phase that's going to be happening in our sign, Cancer. And I feel that this too, with this waxing gibbous, and the moon just being at home, we're getting very close. We're in the week of the full moon, in which is happening in Virgo. And I found when I was really kind of thinking about this, Cancer, the new moon started in Aquarius energy, which is ruled by Uranus, and a mental kind of energy. And it's a little bit different than Mercury, who's going to be the ruler of the moon when we're going through this full moon energy. And Mercury is the higher octave of, or excuse me, Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury. And I feel as we're getting closer to this full moon there, Cancer, I feel like this is you becoming subconsciously, like it's feeling out something bigger, like you tapping into this kind of higher mind type of energy is what I'm kind of feeling here. There's, as more light is kind of shining on here, it's taking the things that we're feeling subjectively, and then how do we channel those, I feel, outward in a sense there. How do you make your imagination in that rich inner world manifest there, Cancer? And whatever it is that you're doing, I feel like are taking off there. But I just feel like it's you. It's so fascinating. It's like a head and heart thing kind of coming together, because it's like as you lead up, Cancer is where you create that safe space to imagine, to come up with these could be where consciousness is, or where awareness is wrapped, or the mind is wrapped up in, is mesmerized by the consciousness. And then when we switch to Leo energy, is that expression. But I just feel there's this it's interesting, Cancer. I just feel like for some though, with this new receptivity, the sun's getting ready to enter, the sun will have entered into Pisces when this is coming out. We're a couple of days in now. Awareness has heightened, intuition is heightened in a sense with the sun entering into Pisces. So I just feel that there's something here, and maybe even for some where this tension and the need to really kind of be mindful of these void of course energies, to take time to recharge your batteries, is that maybe there's something that doesn't make sense mentally that's coming up for you intuitively, and maybe there's that clash that's coming up there for you, Cancer. So just be mindful again of just this week, of being overly stimulated, of any sort of intense emotions that come up, getting into, I feel like, breathing exercises, or maybe some crystal work, or finding different. I'm just picturing you doing something with your hands, just with this, I know we're not in the full moon yet, but Virgo energy is one that can be very dexterous. And so I feel like even just like if you feel very antsy, Cancer, just feel like that there's just something you just are needing to move the energies, going with that feeling. So, because I feel like things are only going to kind of increase as we get to this Virgo energy, which we'll get more into that later, Cancer. But that's kind of what I'm feeling with this energy. But last little thing here, Cancer, and it may be too, just over these next couple of days, the moon is forming conjunctions with your Cancer placements. So again, there's like this infusion of energy that I feel like she's taken from that like maybe that dissonance that was happening with the last or the first quarter phase, and now it's just like something's evolving, something's coming into, just I feel like kind of coming to the surface there, Cancer. But to maybe understand these things that are coming up for you, Cancer, a little nice little segue here. Book a reading with me there, Cancer. I'm open for private personal readings. I have a link down in the description box, and actually I'm getting ready to add a couple of new other programs to. I kind of switched up how I'm doing this a little bit. I have like one service that I have open right now, but we can go over a number of things there, Cancer. Include your date, place, and time of birth, and really kind of go in and do a deep dive of your energies. Your chart placements. We can talk about where your planets are transiting in your chart. So what questions they may be inviting you for. What are some of these? Maybe putting some of these more sort of subconscious messages to light. Give them a little more form, a little more direction. Or just like maybe having a tarot reading, whatever this is that you feel you may need intuitively there, Cancer. Definitely check that out, and if you have any questions, feel free to DM me on Instagram. I'm also on Instagram there, Cancer. I'm posting stuff a lot more, so that's exciting. I need to post some fun things, so I'm gonna get on that, Cancer. And also you can message me, I guess, on Facebook as well there, Cancer. And yeah, all that information is down in the description box. And then last couple of things, these readings that I do, they're not gender specific readings. So apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations. And then the decks that I'm working with, I will, because I didn't include this one and this one, I've included links from them down in the description box, but so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below some links for some other readers that I like watching their Cancer. Definitely check them out. A couple of them are moon signs and have their moon placements in Cancer. And for those of you, happy lunar return. Hopefully you're getting ready to wonder what and that's something too, Cancer. Check out where your moon placement is at. I feel like that's, especially if you have Cancer, sun, moon, rising. Well, moon. But, Cancer, sun, or rising, definitely check out where your moon placement is at. That definitely plays into a factor into that as well, because you are heavily influenced by it. Again, that's your chart ruler. So definitely check that out. But also there are some apps down in the description box that we check that out there, Cancer. But there's some links for an astrologer that I enjoy watching, as well as a couple of podcasts I enjoyed listening to as well there, Cancer. So avail yourself all the goodies down there. But let's go ahead and get into your general energy of the day, Cancer. Oh, and look at you. Because you have the Immerse Yourself card here, Cancer, and I really like this because this is a card of training, learning, new hobbies, and passions. And, Cancer, I feel this can be a time for you. Look at you receiving these downloads from Source. I feel that this could be you thinking, about, because when we get to the full moon, it is this time of celebration, but then it is a time of release. We kind of see things clearly and what we need to, after that full moon reaches that peak, then we're thinking about what we're making space for the next thing here, Cancer. And I feel there is for some, if there are some new hobbies that you've been wanting to pick up there, Cancer, some passions that we've put on the side on the side there, this can be a time to incorporate that into your life. Let that be the next thing for maybe your personal lunar cycle, or maybe for the kind of collective lunar cycle as well, whatever that's looking like for you, because there's 12 of them that you get a year. And when you think about this, Cancer, the moon is so generous. We get like 24, like between collective and personal lunar returns that are going on there, Cancer. How fantastic is that? But I do feel that this is too, Cancer, not just a pursuing, because we're in this energy now where I do feel like we're learning a lot about ourselves, where we're thinking about maybe I just feel like it's just like, becoming more well, having a more well-rounded experience, and really kind of not getting stuck in this journey, but immersing yourself in this experience, allowing yourselves to, how interesting. I'm just got just like a thing that's just like, I got a little surge of Sagittarius energy just kind of coming through there, just going out and journeying out into like, again, just kind of broadening your horizon. And even though we just got out of that Gemini energy, this is something, maybe some things that came up for you that you were maybe curious about, some things that you maybe were interested in learning. But I do feel this is to Cancer, just with these lunar cycles and these energies, I do feel like this is learning yourself on a deeper level here. Understand how you sync up with these cycles, or, just paying attention to what things really resonate with you there, Cancer. And then ask why they're resonating. And then, because there is something here too, there's something that's wanting to, I feel like it's something that's intuitively wanting you to like hone a little bit more there, Cancer. Something that's been, it may not be something you can explain, but I feel like it is something that's warranting your attention. But let me get some tarot on this, Cancer, and get some advice. Yeah, maybe some advice. Let's see what's going on here, Cancer. Guides. And look at you leveling up, Cancer. Oh, all right. So you have the Page of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, the Two of Swords, and the Five of Pentacles upright. And then you have the Three of Pentacles in reverse here, Cancer. And I feel with this Three of Pentacles here that there's something that's not working here, Cancer. I feel like maybe this could be something that we may have been trying to learn, that we may be forcing ourselves into learning. Maybe we feel like, for example, let's say if we wanted to learn a new language just because we felt that like everyone else is doing it, but that may not be your jam. Maybe you want to learn something like scuba diving, or maybe you want to learn how to chart the stars, or maybe you want to learn how to, maybe you want to get better with swords. But I do feel like with this Three of Pentacles here, it's working with things that more work with you there, Cancer. Because it's very interesting with this Five of Pentacles here. The Five of Pentacles can be this card of poverty, and I feel like that there's been a side of you, not necessarily that has just been in this state of lack there, Cancer, but maybe there are some things that we've been just kind of impoverishing us, at maybe needing to be a bit more creative, a bit more expressive. Taking that, because Cancerian energy is one, again, we can be at home, I feel like, in the imaginative space, because it is so wonderful. Cancerian energy is very calculated with when it comes out of its shell and when it doesn't, and when it's making a move. And I feel that this is something here where we're needing to make something a little more on intuition than maybe with our eyes, in a sense of like, 'cause I'm just seeing how she's blindfolded. And I'm just feeling with the moon, because the Two of Swords is the moon in Libra. And Libra energy is about that thing that does bring you harmony, that does bring you peace, and I feel like there is that, how do we bring this sense of aestheticism to, is that a word? Aestheticism, we're working with that, Cancer. How to take something, I feel like internal there, because the Pentacles can be more than just money there, and who knows, this could turn into something money related. I mean, you did go from a page to sitting comfortably as a king there, but this passion, this new hobby, this thing that we're learning, who knows, give this a try there, Cancer. Be open to saying yes to some things. I feel this Five of Pentacles, maybe for some, we may need to take a risk with this. And it's not that we're going to run out of money, but maybe this is something where we're putting in a little bit more than we feel comfortable with the Five of Pentacles. It may lead to a time where we need to be a bit more frugal, possibly. But I feel like it's it's something that can really pay off in the long run there, Cancer. And I feel like it is thinking about that bigger picture, because the Five of Pentacles is Mercury in Taurus, and I feel like where Taurus is very security oriented, I feel there's something here about being mindful about being too rigid. You know, maybe we're telling ourselves we can't start something because of the things that we don't have. And I feel like it's not thinking about what we don't have, is working with what we do have and making choices based off of that, and just getting a bit savvier, I feel like is what's happening with this King of Pentacles here, with whatever it is that you want to start. Maybe you want to start working out, but you don't want to waste money on the gym. Well, then working at home. Well, if we don't have what if I don't have weights? You know, get innovative. You know, maybe we're working with like laundry detergent stuff, or maybe we have gallon jugs, or maybe we're tying, who knows? We can, again, we're just spitballing here, Cancer, but. And one last little thing I feel with this hobbies there, Cancer, I feel for some, be open to some sort of collaborative projects. You know, maybe even something where we can get a couple maybe people in the mix, if this is something where, if it's something, if we were trying to, let's say if we're trying to start maybe a gardening club or something, you want to start gardening, maybe this is where we can utilize someone who has a bigger space, and then you can bring the seeds, and then someone else can bring pots, and, you know, just kind of collectively, you know, kind of coming into this partnership here, maybe for some even. So, but and it's interesting, Cancer. I just feel like intuitively, you know, something big is getting ready to potentially happen here. Something like, pay attention this week. That's fairly fascinating. But let's get some more on this. All right, Cancer. Thank you. HTC. Let's see what's going on here. All right, Cancer. Interesting. Oh, wifey. So you have the Queen of Pentacles. So you have the Queen of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords up right here, Cancer. And then you got quite a bit of energy here. You have the Four of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles, the Nine of Swords, the Five of Swords, the King of Wands, and the Fool card here, Cancer. And that's very interesting. So I feel for some, because this to me feels that there's been, maybe we've had this opportunity here with the Queen of Pentacles. She's coming in here, bringing in this could be some sort of partnership. Maybe this could be a relationship, possibly. Maybe this is someone that we may be kind of teaming up with. But there's this apprehensiveness that maybe is happening here. This could be on your end, Cancer. This could be on their end. But I feel that for some that there is this, keeping this level of discernment, trusting your intuition. But I do feel that there is trying not to let what may have happened with the King of Wands being in here in reverse keep you from finding Queen of Pentacles. You know, like finding, because you got the whole, even now just kind of realizing this, Cancer, you have the whole Pentacles family here. And so I do feel that this is a very, very creative time, again, for just sort of expression, of manifestation here, and I feel like of not really worrying about maybe what other people are thinking there, Cancer. Start this thing up here, because that's even fascinating here. Like, it can be something, again, like, I feel like there's something here about going in maybe with like light expectations at first, maybe not necessarily needing a plan. And I don't mean just for like a business. I feel like just for an idea. And I do feel there's a lot that's coming with this Cancer because if we're in some sort of business thing, I do feel about being mindful just because there is this King of Wands and the King of Wands is fast. You know, I do feel before we jump into something here with someone, relationship, business partnership, maybe even like a course of study or whatever this is. You know, just because there's something here with the nine of swords is giving me this, we're trying to put something off. It's not like a nightmare, just I feel like it's just like there's this little thing inside of us that's like, it's like a high pitched like little like sort of something that's telling us that something doesn't feel right. I'm not like, take that as it resonates there, Cancer. But I do feel for some keeping mindful of like any maybe ideas that you may have there, maybe any sort of like passion projects, you know, sharing any plans. That's another thing that's being coming through there. Just, and I even feel for some too, maybe if we're thinking about coming on to maybe doing like a new job or something like that. Be careful about, I feel like maybe who we're sharing information with, because the Five of Swords can be a little gossipy, Cancer. And again, apply this to how it resonates. But I had a situation once where I had put in, I was getting ready to leave a place. I had let them know I was leaving the place, but then I didn't go in one day. I needed to take care of some business. And then I come back the next day and there's this whole big thing. And granted, a whole lot had happened that day, but it just goes to show you that word travels fast. You know, telephone is a very, the game, no one ever quite hears it right. So, yeah, just something I feel like, you know, to think about there, Cancer. But it's interesting. It's either some of you, there's something here about being too cautious, maybe, and that might be something where we need to be slow. You know, take it slow. Maybe not go in all hot like the King of Wands, but be a little more, be a little more suave, a little more tactful, a little more maybe just practice. Something. There's a word I'm looking for with the King of Pentacles here that he's given off, but I do feel like something's coming in here, Cancer. You know, if you're thinking about some love there, Cancer, because the King and Queen of Pentacles are a very stable couple. You know, this could be something where you meet someone, maybe doing like a hobby, doing a passion. Be open. I feel like maybe for some to saying yes to some things. You know, we may have had something that happened like a King of Wands, but Queen of Pentacles could be right around the corner. But you know, that's interesting, Cancer. Let's get some advice from the moon. let's see how this story's ending there. Yeah, it's like an energy that's coming across like something we didn't plan. Alright, Cancer. Thank you. Alright. Oh, there's my girl. Let's go. Cancer. So, a lot of lovely energy coming through here. Thank you, guys. You have the Two of Pentacles, the Three of Cups, the Page of Cups, the Empress, and then there we are, Cancer, the Chariot. I feel like we begin a lot of Chariot energy here, Cancer. Let's switch back over, because I feel, Cancer, I like this. You know, with the Page of Cups here, I feel like no matter where we're at on our journey, I just feel like that there's this energy of don't feel like you can't start up something new or starting up something, some sort of passion project or whatever this is there, Cancer. And I even feel for some there too, that if you are, maybe even, you may not even be looking for love there, Cancer, but there may be something here that just kind of comes, like, because I normally, like, that's interesting how that's coming up. You know, they feel like there could be this sort of new sort of flow that's coming in there with someone. Again, take that how it may be resonating there, Cancer. But But I do even feel that this could be one where maybe we're even starting up a new hobby, a new thing with a team, possibly. Because the Empress, Venus, just entered into Aquarius not too long ago. It's a very friendly energy for her to be in, a time for us to share all of our individual, be again, just kind of celebrate as a tribe, but celebrate in the uniqueness that is us there. And I feel there's something here about the Chariot's even going forward with something there, Cancer. The energy's moving you, I feel like, in a different direction, finding these stuff, like learning new things, like maybe even training in the art of socializing, possibly there, Cancer. But, I'm talking about Venus being in Aquarius. The Five of Swords is Venus in Aquarius. So, maybe this could even be some too. We're getting in with new groups there. Again, we were maybe kicking at King of Wands, wasn't quite working with us, but then we found King of Pentacles, or King, Queen of Pentacles, and now things are abundant. So, and I feel like even the Empress is just like you, just full of just new ideas here, Cancer. So, be mindful of that, but I'm with that, Cancer. I think I'm going to leave that there. So, very abundant with this week, especially, again, the whole Pentacles family showing up. I'm with that. But if you like that, Cancer, great way to start a moon day off. But if you like that, or if anything resonated with you, Cancer, give it a thumbs up. And share this, Cancer, because I feel like this is something, where, starting up a new hobby, allowing yourself to just be expressive there, Cancer. And maybe for some it's just like even getting some training that we've been wanting to. Maybe we wanted to take a business class, or maybe we've been just even like, I feel like even something with that King of Wands. It's just like maybe maybe we've been doing something stable. We've gotten something stable there. Now we need to do something a little wild with the King of Wands. That's even something to think about there, Cancer. And then subscribe there, Chariot. Hit that bell button. You get notified on all these videos each day. And then last little bit there, Cancer. Check your sun, moon, rising, Venus placements. Just take your chart there, Cancer. We could check that together. Book a reading with me there, Cancer. All that stuff is down in the description box there for you. And yeah, just check your chart there, Cancer. Maybe there are some, for example, I have a lot of Leo energy. And when you think about the dispositor of all that Leo energy, it is linked to my sun placement, which is the sun in Cancer in the 12th house. And so the nice kind of thing, how I've been viewing that here as of late, is just like with all this Leo, how am I expressing this, being in this, developing this sense of ego while also kind of detaching from this, but allowing this to just get into this sort of creative type of space, take this imaginative sort of energy that I have, and like allow that to just be released, and allow that to take in all the stuff that I perceive and things, and how my mind works. And it can be a really neat way of working with your energies, and it unlocks new things. You get to feel stuff into it's been really cool there, Cancer. And it's really been kind of allowing me to push myself in different types of ways, to try different stuff, to find who I am. So that's something too that you can learn about yourself. You get to asking yourself these deeper things, and you show up in a different type of way. So something to think about, Cancer. And so we do all that stuff, you can come over to, and even before that, Cancer, come over to my other channel, Alchemist 8. I do weekly transit videos that talks about the aspects and, kind of the astrological weather that's going on this weekend. I think we're going to have a pretty busy one this week there, Cancer. I had a double check. I just got all the things, dates and degrees set up for that, but definitely check that out there, Cancer. I do those weekly. I might do, depending on if it's a lot, I may split them up. Like those ones are still kind of getting locked in. And then I do Celestial News Monthly, which are monthly videos whenever the sun moves into a new sign. And then I do yearly ones as well. I actually just did Pisces over the weekend. And all that housekeeping, Cancer, is down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here. Ooh, so I can get you out of here, Cancer. Look at that. That Pisces energy here. You got the moon card, Cancer. Love that. And, Cancer, with all this moon energy here, you know, the moon is at home right now in our sign. I feel with this, you know, she's this there's a lot of inner lap that comes in when we, other than the Chariot, that comes in when we get to talking about Pisces, the moon card, and the high priestess. And I think I was just talking with Pisces about that because they got the high priestess for their birthday season. And we both Pisces and Cancer have this rich sense of imagination. Pisces is it can I feel like expresses it a bit differently. Of course, you know, we feel more. It's like they're aware of the consciousness where we feel the consciousness, but in order to, I feel like, to be aware of the consciousness, she's got the mark of the crab here. You know, there's this tattoo here, and it's like she's had to meet herself very deeply, and that's what Cancerian energy does. You know, we are this subjective, introspective type of energy, this really understanding the nuances of this journey. That's why, you know, we're, you know, a lot of like where people may not understand how we operate is because, you know, we are paying attention to, it's not about what's happening objectively. It's all what is happening internally. How are you processing this journey? We're so aware of what's going on within us and how we're sensitive to the energies, and we do pick up on how others respond emotionally as well, even when they're not aware of it. You know, and sometimes we may again take that on as our own. And so I feel with this Cancer that this moon card is one. I feel there is this training that's happening here, this like this, because the moon card can be this journeying into the unknown. And sometimes when you're being guided by the moon, there are times where you can see things as full as day, and there are other times when the moon is in a new moon and you have to trust your intuition going through this darkness, you know. And it's, I feel that there is this new, I feel like this is you learning again about this, about, it's like an initiatory type of energy that's coming through here with the moon, Cancer. But and I do feel too, it's just like even being open to trying new things. I can't, let me get your other oracle card here, but interesting, Cancer. I love it. Thank you, guys. All right, so you have, oh, we've forgotten this card before. So you have the last quarter moon in Cancer, which is a take a breather card here. And I feel what a great way to take a breather then to try a new hobby there, Cancer. Pursue a passion. Maybe for some we've been in maybe this real kind of efficient kind of king, queen of pentacles energy. You've been cranking up, you've been turning out, because you do have a lot of pentacles here. And maybe we've been needing to take a moment and just relax a little bit, to just kind of do some Empress energy, take a breather, nurture yourself there, Cancer. Maybe get lost even in this kind of moon energy there, allowing yourself to get into that imaginative space, Page of Cups. Because I feel like, again, it doesn't matter where you are on your journey. You know, I feel like that imaginative energy is you. And again, there's this, yeah, just being present. I feel like this week with all the void of course energy that's happening, you know, a lot of making sure to take charge of your batteries, recharge, doing some sort of creative things. And you know, it's not just about all that you're just taking in and being receptive for. It's like, how are we releasing some of that energy, Cancer? You know, there's a give and take that needs to happen with the universe. So all right, Cancer, I think I'm gonna leave that there. So you stay safe out there with all these new hobbies and you learning new things, whatever this is looking like there, Cancer. May be getting some schooling. You keep eyes on the moon. She's getting fuller. We're getting ready to we're in the week of the full moon, Cancer. This is really exciting energy. You might be feeling a little antsy. Things are ramping up, but take a breather, ground your energies, and I will catch you on the next one tomorrow.